Doug, great to have you back on the show. This Defense Production Act, how does it affect your company?
Oh, this is well. First of all, let me speak from the perspective of U.S. taxpayer, U.S. consumer. This is a big deal. Obviously, electric vehicles are a big part of our society's future, which is great in terms of enabling a clean energy transportation future. But the challenge right now is we source the vast majority of not only our batteries but battery materials from foreign entities. And by investing heavily in infrastructure developments to potentially source future batteries and battery minerals, I think is a big deal, not only for society, and then of course now putting my Solid Power hat back on. This is a great opportunity for companies like Solid Power and others who are working in next generation batteries to really establish a footprint for battery production here in the United States.
So how are you going to do that? And I guess how does this act enable that to happen more quickly? And I ask because when we're talking about things like rare earths materials, I mean, it's not just about extracting them from the ground, but it's also about refining them, which is a process that has largely been done in China. And it's going to be tricky to disentangle, I would imagine, if for no other reason than from a regulatory standpoint.
Yeah, and this is where Solid Power operates as a great opportunity. Just to remind yourself and your viewers, we're working in what's called solid state batteries. So this is, simplistically speaking, this is replacing the liquid electrolyte that's used in today's lithium ion with a solid electrolyte material. And that represents a great opportunity because it's a new product and it's an opportunity to really establish the supply chain here in the United States, if you will. And so that's precisely what we're doing. We are expanding not only the production of our solid state cells, but also key materials like our solid electrolyte, and that's being done here in the United States. So with this investment potential from the U.S., this is just an opportunity to even further those investments and keep them here in the United States. Your question about key minerals and materials, that is what we're looking at long term. We are very much laser focused on next generation materials that eliminate that nickel and cobalt. It's still in our R&D phase, but we're pretty optimistic that we'll bring this to commercialization. And of course, therein lies another opportunity to have that production right here in the United States.
So in light of that, and given the fact that you have been largely in this research and development area as a company so far, what are your key milestones? How quickly can you commercialize that?
Yeah, so kind of a multifaceted question because it really comes down to generations of our product. Right now, we are scaling our first generation cell product to a full scale that will happen this year. That will be delivered to our two auto OEM partners, BMW and Ford. So we're kicking off the formal automotive qualification process this year, and that is being enabled by the infrastructure investments that we're making as we speak. But where I look at this potential investment from the federal government is really the next generation and the next generation, because we will again be scaling next year and beyond. And this is where we can really leverage some of these investments from the federal sector.
All right. Doug Campbell, the CEO of Solid Power, thanks for joining us. Shares are up about
Thank you so much.
Almost 9%.